In part 1 of this 3-part series, I flew to St. Martin to crew on a 50-foot Beneteau making its way to Grenada. After 60 miles, we opted to anchor off the shores of Statia to wait out some weather and stumbled into a Caribbean gem that is not frequently visited by cruisers. Alright, well it's day 3 and we're getting ready to take off from this island, which is called Statia. We're making a direct run to St. Lucia. I think it's 230, 240 miles, so whatever it was, we calculated it to right at 39 hours running 5.8 to 6, which is what we suspect. The winds have died down almost too much. We were seeing gusts that were exceeding 35 for that little front that came through. Anyway, so right now it's 7 a.m. and we're wanting to be off the hook here by 10. We still gotta go into town and check out. They wouldn't let us do an in and out. We'd like to hit the grocery store, but it's Sunday. I don't think anything's gonna be open. But we have a little bit of stuff we need to do that to get buttoned up. All right, we've made it. It is 7:44 Sunday morning. The customs office opens up at 7, so let's hope they're there and not island time 7, which could be closer to 10. But we're here to get checked out. We got out of immigration yesterday. We can do it in and out, but customs lady said she wanted us here. Not only just the skipper, but they wanted all of us here. So with that big swell out there, getting in and out of that dinghy is a bit of a challenge. It's not huge, but it's not exactly comfortable either. So we're watching these goats come down this mountain here. Pretty interesting. Just to see domestic goats. We saw on this ledge right there, they were jumping what looked to be about 6 or 7 foot down onto a small ledge. I really like how the island time works. So we came down to customs office. The agent had already taken off for the airport to check in people coming in on a flight. So, and they knew that we were heading out this morning, so the security started making phone calls, and they're going to call in a part-timer, or I'm sorry, another coworker to come in and help us out. So we thought, well, we'll walk down the street here and get some coffee while the other person comes here. It's about 10-15 minutes. But I love the small feel is that they called the place that has coffee and said, hey, go ahead and send them back this way. So you wouldn't find those kind of communications in the States or some of the more populated countries. But they help speed us along. There's a guy I've been watching. He's on a monohull, and he has a dinghy that he paddles. He has no engine. That is insane. So he's trying to make his way into shore right now. That has got to be one hell of a workout. Coming in is not so bad, but going back out, it's got to be rough.
Shine for you and everything you do. Yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you and all the things you do.
Have you ever wondered what a moonrise looks like in the Caribbean Sea? Well, there you go. It is Sunday, I believe February the 1st, and we're on our way to St. Lucia. We just had a beautiful sunset behind us and got beautiful moonrise forward of us.
And it was called yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. Was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something.
This is the third morning on board the boat, and we are somewhere off of the coast of Guadalupe. I think it's Guadalupe. I saw a couple different spellings, so I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but it should be to our port side. I can't quite see it, but I'm looking, it's probably 20 miles out, but If I had much elevation, I would have thought I could, but we have the sunrise coming up. I have a tanker coming up behind me. Anyways, we traveled about 115 miles since we left yesterday at around 10 a.m. yesterday, once we got checked out with Customs and Immigration. We went through some really low wind, low areas last night where we would have 2 to 3 knots of wind, so we had to motor quite a bit. The wind has picked up. We're off and doing really well. I'm cruising at about 7 with 15 knots of true wind. If I could go a little bit more broad, I had this thing running, it was going between 8.5 and 9, but that's taking me off course. Don't want to be tacking the entire day because I have a course set right now that's still directed at St. Lucia. So I'd rather have a little less speed and go on direct path than trying to get more speed and constant tacking. All right, well, I'll check in later when there's any new developments. We came in closer to the leeward side of the island to catch a favorable current, but as you can see from the sea state, the wind dropped to less than 5 knots for most of the day. Occasionally we were able to catch some intermittent winds between the islands, but it was always short-lived. We were forced to motor sail more than we expected, so the decision was made to catch a mooring ball in Dominica, refuel, and then set off early the next morning. Not long after we made the decision to divert to Dominica, I found myself conflicted with another decision. I had a personal matter I needed to attend to at home. I was thankful that the owners were extremely understanding, and both Nick and Debbie supported my decision to catch a flight the next day. Trust me, it wasn't an easy decision, but as soon as I booked the flight, I felt more at peace and made the best of the last day on the boat. We have a sunset and some dolphins following us. I don't know if you can see them yet. They've been bouncing side to side, so I can't always get them on the camera.
I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 'Cause you were all yellow.
Coming into an anchorage at night was new for me, and thankfully, Nick has been here a few times, so he knew the layout. Plus, he had a direct connection to a buoy boy who escorted us to our mooring ball. The lights on shore play tricks with your mind, so you have to be diligent and work as a team.
Something beautiful, and you know, for you I bleed myself dry. For you I bleed myself dry.
This is the 4th morning, and I have woken up on the island of Dominica. And here's what the landscape looks like. It really did not look like this last night, or it's not what I thought it would look like by gauging the lights. But it's a beautiful little anchorage. I thought we were in a metroplex, like a commercial area, but it's actually just residential homes. About 6:30 right now, and we'll be getting ready to take off here shortly. We got to get into Customs and Immigration, get checked out of this country, or get checked in and out, and I will be flying home. So I'll try to do a small tour of what I see, but I don't have a lot of time to get checked out, and I got to make a drive on to the other side of the country to catch a plane by 3. So it sounds okay, but sometimes I've heard the immigration and customs component of getting checked in and out can take some time. Let's hope not so today. And last night when we came in, I think I had some footage of it. There was a huge ship right here, boat. I was hoping to take a better look at it this morning, but obviously they took off at some point. All right. See you later.
All right, we came on the other side of the cruise ship, and Nick was able to find a boat dock that they have kind of stashed away, and we were able to find just enough space to hide the dinghy out in protective water. They looked a little confused, but they seemed more than helpful. Hopefully we're not gone long. If it looks like it's gonna be a length of time, we may end up wanting to change it.
For you, I bleed myself dry.
I kept an eye on the dinghy while Nick walked to the customs office, which only took about 20 minutes. The final step involved a short taxi ride to the police station so they could stamp my passport, and then I could be on my way. Next week, I'll share the highlights of my hour-and-a-half drive across this beautiful country.
Look how they shine for you.
And one last thing, if you're in the market for a 50-foot Beneteau that is set up to cruise the islands, you need to check this boat out, which is on the market. You can find links and more information in the video notes. That wraps up this week. Thanks for following our journey, one adventure at a time. Join us on Patreon for bonus footage of building this business. We created options for everyone, including a tip jar for just a few dollars, because every bit of support helps keep the dream alive. And don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'll see you next week.